Who's got something fun to share before we get kicked off? I'm giving it a few minutes too while we do this. Chris, I see that finger go up right away. So let's hear from you.
Oh yeah, we got from our website, we basically turned into 2 deals from 1 lead, and then we have another one that called in today. So the monster's on. It's been working for us. It's been working great. So that's been some
1
awesome
lead
news.
generated 2 different
2
deals,
properties, correct.
and you got another one that you're working currently.
Correct.
Just an hour, just about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, so it's working, man. It's working just like we needed it to.
I love that. Real quick, give me the skinny on the one that turned into 2 properties. How did they find you?
Ranked. They found us, I think, for Katie probate. That's what we've been trying to rank on. The guy gave us a call, said, "Hey, I like the way your website looks. I like the personal feel to it. I like your About Us page because it tells more about that. Get to see the faces to the website." And he ended up selling his parents' home and then selling us his parents' rental home right after that. So we're sending the contract over this evening now. So it's turned into some awesome stuff.
So it's a good thing you guys actually sat down and did the work when you were out here in LA on that About Us page. Exactly.
That trip from LA turned on a faucet, is what it seemed like. We're trying to bust it open even more.
I love it. Well, congrats. Big round of applause to you guys on that one for sure. And hopefully this other one that you just kind of sent some info out on, hopefully that turns into something for you as well.
Yeah, thank you guys and thank your team.
Now, the faster way to open up the faucet is Roger will probably talk to you, but we need to start looking at what's next, right?
Absolutely. Next step.
Sweet. I love it. Who else got something to share that happened over the last month? I feel like it's almost been like a month and a half since I've really talked to you guys between end of June and middle of August. But anybody else have anything really cool happen?
Welcome back, brother. Loving the facial you got going there.
Thanks.
For me, I'll share real quick. Been doing good. My realtor side of the business is picking up, thankfully. On the investment side, we are about 2 weeks fresh out of jail from GBP. So that kind of a little bit, but it happens, right? So it needed to happen sooner than later because now I feel we're past that, that bid. But everything's going good. So I'm glad that you're back and things are getting back to normal for you guys.
Well, I don't know if I'd go as far as saying back to normal because the new normal was something I really loved, and it was really hard to leave that and come back to the old normal. I think even Roger, who I'll let him share here real quick in a second, but I think even Roger found a new normal and kind of fell in love with it as well. So, but I do see, Roger, I know you're in the car. You and the wife are getting ready to go do something, but if there's anything you want to say really quick to everybody before I kind of switch our gears and get us into today's topic.
Yeah, no, just in case I get cut out, let me know, Shawn, if I'm kind of slowing down. We just got hit with a big old storm. So those of you that are in the Maryland, DC area, you're probably feeling it, but there's a ton of rain out here. Big storm. But anyway, just wanted to kind of really quick share for those of you that kind of were around, work with our team during July. Thank you for your patience. Sounds like everything went pretty smooth, and we got a lot of good feedback from the team. We got a lot of good ideas, just allowing them to grow as well in their position. So really excited for this next stage on where we're going and growing the company. But man, the trip itself for me personally, I can only speak for myself here, just kind of having that experience with Shawn and Jeff, we're the 3 of us that finished the entire thing. It was definitely a challenge, something new for me. But as Shawn kind of mentioned, I did find a new love for the mountains, or just kind of love for the mountains, because it's not like I had experienced that before. So it was really cool to be out there. But not only that, really kind of pushing myself at a whole nother level that I didn't even know existed inside of me, to be honest. Just an everyday grind, but at the same time, everyday reward. Not only in the middle of the day as we're kind of seeing all these beautiful views while we're out there. But at the end of the day, just saying, hey, man, we just did, 14 miles. It was just crazy to me, the stuff that we were doing. And it just kind of helped me kind of bring it all back to what I do in my normal life and in business. But at the end of the day, it's like sometimes we don't realize it, but if we really reach down deep, man, we can accomplish a lot. And that's something that I'm coming back with and really excited for this next, like I said, not only just business, but just at a personal level that I kind of learned. But super cool trip. Glad I did it. And there's going to be a ton more to share. But for now, we'll keep it at that. But looking forward to working with you guys. Very happy to be back. Really happy to see everybody on here.
I love it. And I'm going to echo what Roger said really quick. I mean, there's so much to share, and I'm going to probably be we'll probably put together something. I know for sure we'll probably get into it on a podcast episode here soon. But I think the biggest thing that really came out of it, you guys are starting to see it already. A couple of you guys have pinged me and are like, whoa, there's a lot of new names and faces and people I don't even know that are on this call. But something that Roger and I kind of like, we won't call it an epiphany, but it kind of was more of like a solidification while we were out there. Roger, myself, the entire team, everybody at REI Toolbox, we're on a mission. We're on a mission to shake the real estate industry up. We're on a mission to shake the way that real estate investors, real estate professionals, real estate folks, period, gain business, get leads, right? Market themselves. And it kind of like hit us while we were out there that strap the seatbelts on. I don't want to go too deep into it. There's a lot that came to Roger and I. It was probably my favorite part of the whole entire time of taking a month away. And as a business owner, I'll say that to you guys, if you don't take the time to step away from your business, to step away from your operation and just focus internally on yourself, but also allow that to speak to you on what's next in your business venture, or where do you need to go. If you're not taking some time like that, I'm not saying you got to go crazy, take an entire month off, walk away into the middle of the wilderness with no service like we did. But if you're not taking that time, I guarantee you're missing opportunities to grow. You're missing opportunities to see the next move for you and where you need to go to. And I'm not talking about taking time away from the business to go to an event that some guru sucks you into and tells you you're working on your business, not in your business by being here. I'm literally talking about close down. Roger saw it happen on me. I had to delete every single app off of my phone to have space for videos and pictures. I had 0 email, 0 calendar, 0 Discord, 0 any. For 27 days, I had 0 communication with not just you guys, but even with our own team. And for some, that can be scary, but it brought massive growth. And that growth hasn't been realized yet, but just the clarity, the vision, the next steps, and knowing exactly what we're going to do, but more importantly, what we need to do, you can't replace that. So I'm going to leave it at that as far as our trip, and it's going to feed right into where I want to go with today. But first, I want to just throw it out there. There is a lot of new faces and names that you guys are going to see on here. How many of you guys have been paying attention to the Facebook group in the last day and a half, 2 days? If you've been paying attention in there, you realized, holy crap, it just got saturated with a lot of people. And it's going to continue to do that. A big thing that Roger and I decided was, why are we holding hostage and holding secret everything that we know about marketing in the real estate world to just those that are our clients? Why are we not, we really want to shake this industry, why are we not putting it out in front of everybody? Why are we not giving everybody the golden nuggets and the golden secrets? And we've decided to open up that Facebook group to everybody. It's not just a client thing anymore. Same thing with these calls right here. For now, they're going to just happen on a weekly basis. There are some ideas. There's going to be some stuff coming out. We're going to listen to your guys' feedback and opinions as to when or how many or what types and all this kind of stuff. But for now, it's going to be these calls. But we've opened the doors as REI Toolbox to give this knowledge to as many people in the real estate space that want it. So with that being said, if you guys know other individuals that maybe aren't on Facebook, that maybe not seeing my posts about stuff, and they could get value out of these things, encourage them. Go join the Facebook group, get them involved in this, get them on these calls to help them out. Because that is, at the end of the day, our biggest mission is to make the biggest impact we can in the real estate space, to help companies actually become real estate businesses, not real estate hobbyists. As I got on a soapbox one night in the middle of the wilderness drinking tea with Roger and talked about
Tea? Get out of here.
it was tea. It was tea. There was zero alcohol. Well, I shouldn't say zero. There was a couple splashes of Jim Beam to make it a hot toddy. But we did. We had a soapbox rant night about that, because I personally believe too many real estate folks are just hobbyists. They're not running it like a true business, and that's what we want to change. So with those that are new, I'm not going to take the time right now to have you go through one by one, unmute yourself and introduce yourself, but I am going to encourage you, jump in the Facebook group, put a post up, introduce who you are, where you do business at, what type of business you're doing, what type of deals you're focusing on. There is a plethora of knowledge of people, not just on these calls, but in that group. And I guarantee you there's going to be some business that can happen amongst each other, deals that can be shared, swapped, sold to each other, this type of stuff. I just ask, don't spam and promote the shit out of yourself without giving. Give of yourself before you go and just try to take. On there, I did promise. Some people have reached out and said, "Hey, are you going to control the spam in this thing?" Absolutely. You guys know me. I don't deal with BS too well. I'll just cut them out on there. So with that, please go introduce yourself. If we have some time at the end of this call, maybe you can introduce yourself if you're asking a question or something. But I want to dive into a couple topics. There's a couple things that while we were gone, that through the clarity that Roger and I and the company was having, it brought some clarity to some things, some topics really, that I want to share with you guys. And I want to kind of, for some that have been with us for a while, you maybe been working with us at a deep level for quite some time, it might be a refresher. For others, it might be the refresher that you absolutely need. For others, it's probably the thing that you've been hearing me bang in the head and you're like, oh crap, here it comes again. Shawn's going to say it and I know about it, but I just still won't do it. But I personally believe it's something that's needed, because it wasn't until we were out there and Roger and I got talking that it really hit me. You can't overlook this. You cannot overlook this one topic that I'm going to get into today, and it's going to catapult us over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to expand on this and go deeper into the process. But as a business, to grow, to scale, to go to the next level, it all requires more opportunities. Can we agree with that? Yes? Give me thumbs up, shakes the heads, that kind of thing, those that are on camera, right? We've got to have opportunity coming in if we, as a business, in this case, as real estate experts, if I want to do more deals, I need to have more opportunities to do more deals, right? The problem is we spend so much time focusing on what's the next deal. What's the next opportunity? Where's my next lead? We get so stressed and so worried that I don't have any leads that I forget about a critical step that I just went right over top of. That when we get this step in place, leads become a little easier. Chris, Sal, they just shared at the start of this that this individual reached out, and the thing that came out of their mouth was they loved their site. They loved the way that they got a feeling about Ohana Legacy Properties, right? They loved what they saw on this About Us page. Well, you nailed the step that I want to talk about today, which is why it translated to a opportunity. And the thing that I'm talking about is you have to build a brand before you can worry about building lead flow. I'll say that again. Your focus has to be on building a brand before you can focus on building a lead flow. I want you guys to imagine right now, if you said, hey, Shawn, fly to my market, because I said I'll fly there on my own dime, come spend 3 days with you. I'll cover all the costs. And we're going to go and stand in the middle of the busiest area of your marketplace. And before I even work with you or do anything with you, I'm going to ask 50 people, 50 random people, if they've ever heard of your company name. They even know that your company is a company in this area. Does Ohana Legacy Properties exist in Houston? Have you ever heard of this company called Ohana Legacy Properties? If I ask these type of questions, think about it right now. How many of those 50 would say something like, I think I've heard of them, I've seen some of their stuff, sounds familiar, rings a bell? How many of you think that 80% or more of the random 50 would answer like that?
Yep.
You think they would, Sal? 80%?
That wouldn't know who we are. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the other way, right? 80% wouldn't know.
Well, they
Maybe
wouldn't know us.
20% might
Right.
go, yeah, kind of, maybe, not sure, right?
I hope it's 5%.
That's what we need to change first. Until your brand is recognized, it becomes really hard to generate leads. Why? Because you're fighting, the first portion of it is just trying to figure out who the heck you are, what it is you do, how you even help this person. Yet you're over here saying, hey, so-and-so, you want to sell me your house? All right. I joked about it when I was coming out with the book, right? Marketing is like dating. Marketing is not like marriage. Marketing is not like proposing. Marketing is not like taking them home on the first night. Marketing is like dating. When we date somebody, do we spend the first handful of weeks, months building our brand, building who we are, our beliefs, our core values, right? The things that irritate us, things that don't, the things that we're interested in, our hobbies, our mutual connections, right? Marketing your business is the same thing. We've got to focus on the brand first, okay? Now, hopefully you guys, let me see if I can adjust this, because I'm going to go back to my drawing board here. Well, I pull this up. Since Sal likes to stay unmuted, I'm going to pick on Sal. I've gone over this in the past, Sal. Let's see if you remember. There's 3 fundamentals, the basis of marketing. Let's see if you remember what they are.
No, one is awareness.
Yes, to a point. I'll give you a hint. I'm looking for 3 M's. The 3 M's of marketing.
Oh, Jesus. I thought it was awareness. Okay.
See if I can fold this up a little bit. 3 M's of marketing. I'll help you out. Maybe this will trigger it. Number 1, market.
Right.
Oh, market, message, and media.
There we go.
Right.
Who said those?
That's James.
James. Market, message, media. Who remembers what market is?
It's who you're marketing to.
The who, exactly. This is the who we're marketing to. Who remembers what the message is?
The avatar.
No, that's the market. Who? Message is what?
What are you telling them?
What we say. And the media is what? How we do it, right? Who we speak to, what we say to them, and how we deliver that message. Well, if that's the three fundamentals of marketing, market, message, media, who, what, how, before we can even craft the message, we had to figure out who it is that we wanted to talk to, right? Who's our ideal person? Well, once I know who they are, what I'm going to say to them has to resonate to who they are in their situations. This making sense? Yes? Thumbs up? So my brand, who my business is, who we are, is the pivotal point. I'm going to get away from real estate for a second to try to make this really crystal clear. Victor, you're a golfer. I'm a golfer, right? If you're in the market for brand new clubs, I'm sure there's a brand out there that maybe you lean a little towards, right? A little bit, maybe more favoritism. Maybe it's Callaway, maybe it's TaylorMade, maybe it's Ping, right? And there's a reason why you kind of lean towards that brand. For me, it's PXG. Why? Because the brand of PXG is super focused on military veterans, on first responders. They give major discounts on their clubs to individuals like that. Is PXG a better club than Callaway? We could sit here and try to argue the technology all day long. But why am I leaning towards PXG over a Callaway or a TaylorMade or Ping or one of these other brands that are out there? The brand, who they are and who they want to speak to is who?
You.
Me. The veteran that enjoys golf. And if I'm going to spend money on clubs, I'd like to spend money on clubs with a company that I feel a connection to. Does that make sense? Chris, Sal, you guys got a lead because they found you because of probate. They searching probate stuff. Well, if you go to Ohana Legacy Properties website and land on that and you're dealing with probate, the message that you were putting out there speaks directly to who?
People in probate.
No, I'm saying it speaks to the
Right.
who, right?
Right. Yeah, to the who.
So we have to really get clear on our brand and put the focus out of the gate on understanding who you guys are. Who do you serve? Why is it that you have this connection to serve this particular audience? What makes you so unique to that? You know, I already know Chris and Sal's, story and background, why they've chosen probate and these type of pieces, but each of us need to step for a second and kind of think back. Who is it that I'm trying to serve here, and why is it? And really start to focus in on building the brand and let the leads be attracted to that brand, not the other way around. Does that make sense? Will it be slower? Meaning, will you probably have less leads than if you're focusing lead first? 100%. You want to focus lead first? Well, shit. Just go start a PPC campaign. Go start some social media ads. Go buy a list, drop a bunch of direct mail pieces in the mail, go knock on a bunch of doors, and you'll have a bunch of leads, right? Which is nothing more than just somebody saying, hey, I got a letter from you, or hey, I saw your ad, or they open the door and go, how can I help you? But we end up having to fight our way through the first part of that conversation, and that is, well, Mickey, tell me, before we can get, like, tell me, who is Akin Developers? Tell me a little bit more about them. Tell me more about what you do. What is it that you do exactly? How do you do it, right? These are all the common questions that we get asked. What do you mean by as is? You'll buy it as is. Like, I don't have to, we get confused, that we, when I say we, the leads get confused and want to figure that out before they can even go to the next stage with you. So focusing in on our brand building out of the gate is the crucial component. Thumbs up if we're all on the same sheet before I kind of shift to now, how do we build the brand? Okay. So how do we build this? How do we take this brand first approach? It starts in a couple ways. Obviously, the first thing that probably comes to mind for many of you guys is the look and feel. The look and feel. Colors, logo, basic stuff, right? But it's overlooked so often here because you're like, well, I got my logo and I got my color scheme, I'm good. But remember, we need to focus on getting the brand out there more than anything. So my challenge to you guys would be sit back and go through everything that you have out there. Is there consistency? When I say everything, anywhere and everywhere that a potential person in your community looks, do they see the same brand? Let's go look at some big boys here for a second. Somebody shouted out, what does every Starbucks look and feel like?
Same.
Say that again, Sal.
The same.
No, what does it look like? Tell me.
Green, white, has the thing in the front, the label, and the language that they use to order stuff is exactly the same. The menu is exactly the same.
Somebody else, what's the inside of a Starbucks look like? If I took all the signage off and made you walk in, could you tell that it's a Starbucks versus somebody else? Mickey, I see you shaking your head. What's the inside look like?
The feel to it, the product that they give, even the smell. It doesn't smell like any other coffee shop. There's a specific smell into a Starbucks.
Get more specific here. Victor.
The way they arrange the furniture, the way that the personal will greet the client, the way that, you know, all of the products is being displayed, it's always the same type.
Yeah, you gotta even make the same line, so it's all the same.
You make the same line?
That's so true. The line is the same.
Yep. You get to the register seems to always be in the middle. The food case always seems to be to your right? And then to the left is typically where the baristas are at. And you have to walk past the barista and all of that stuff to get into the line to get to the center part. And then you're staring at the food the whole time you're waiting to go up to the, why?
The upsell.
These are all part of this brand component. Now there's deeper pieces that this all fits into, right? But it's part of building the brand. It is the same no matter which one you walk into. The signage looks the same. Most of the buildings have the same feel from even the outside of that building. They look for strategic places to be able to be in buildings that are very similar to each other, right? The color schemes when you walk in are very similar. All the products all over the walls and on the shelves and these type of things, it's the same. I can take the Starbucks logo off and put you in a Starbucks and ask you, who do you think this coffee company is? And probably 8 out of 10 times, you're going to answer with Starbucks, right? Versus, where's my East Coasters? Dunkin' Donuts.
Wawa.
Both major coffee brands, right? But where's my Dunkin' Donut knowers? What colors are Dunkin' Donuts?
That's
Orange and
white.
purple.
Orange, predominantly orange. Some of them have it maybe a little purple, but it's orange and white, or orange and white and purple. Their signage, big double D's, right? DD for Dunkin' Donuts. What's their interior feel like in comparison? Could I put you in a Dunkin' Donuts with no branding and you could tell it's not a Starbucks? Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts doesn't focus on the home away from home feel with the furniture type feel. Little different environment on the inside, right? When you're standing at the register in a Dunkin' Donuts, what's behind the cashier? It's all donuts. So you see how just by taking the signage off and the name off, we could identify what this place is, right? Now, these are big guys that spend a ton of money to focus on branding. And a ton of money, and they've been around for a long time, and it's kind of been ingrained into people, but you have to think from that level, right? Will your real estate company in your local market be that well known? Probably not. But with your logo, with your colors, with the stuff that's consistent out there everywhere somebody sees, could they start to recognize Ohana Legacy, Akin Developers, Melanin Homes, Melanin Tax? Now go back digital here for a second, because I know you guys, not everybody has physical offices, right? So the bulk of our branding comes from our marketing collateral, our marketing materials. Everything that REI Toolbox sends out, hell, even my book. Does this look like an REI Toolbox type piece of material? Absolutely, right? Oh, I don't have, they're around somewhere. The welcome boxes that go out, right? Everything's black and green, bright greens. These type of colors for REI Toolbox. Go to the website, it's green, it's got the logo, it's consistent throughout. Go to our social media accounts, it's all over the place. Go to Shawn's personal social media page. And what do you see? The branding and the color scheme and the fluidity of REI Toolbox. Which brings me to the second part, the look and feel. The other way to build the brand is you personally. You are your brand at the end of the day. As a real estate individual, as a real estate expert in your local market, yes, you have a company name. Roger and I own a real estate brand. It's called Access Home Buyers. But when somebody reaches out to Access Home Buyers, they're not looking to work with Access Home Buyers once they get on a call and we start to discuss. They end up calling back or reaching back, or they get very comfortable working with a human, right? So to build your brand in your area, you build it off of the back of you personally. Sal, Chris, Victor, seeing who else is on that was there. I think that's all that's on the call right now that was out here in LA. Oh, Lorraine, you guys were out here in LA. not too long ago, and I took you somewhere that helps me build what Roger and I are doing, and I was building it personally. I took you to an organization, right? I took you to a meeting that I'm involved in on a weekly basis. It has nothing to do with real estate, has nothing to do with business. But through that is our brand being built, because more and more and more people get to know that Shawn owns a digital marketing company. Shawn owns a company that's focused in this digital space that really helps the real estate individuals. This is where I'm going to go a little bit deeper starting next week, using our personal side, and really building what I like to call your dream 100 relationships to help you build that. Because you don't have to do it on the back of yourself, where maybe you don't know a lot of people, or maybe you live in a, Lorraine in the Bronx. That's a big area, a lot of things going on, and it's a, kind of like a cutthroat type of area. Whereas Mickey, who lives out in the middle of, BFE around the lake, she really doesn't have much around her anymore. So we can't just rely on, when I say personal, we can't rely on just us doing it, but through strategic relationships in our local area, we can help build the brand. This making sense so far? The other one, and this will be in a couple weeks, paid. We can pay to have our brand out there. We can pay to get our brand more visibility. Notice I'm not saying we can pay to get leads. We could pay to get opportunities. We can go with a very strategic strategy, knowing that I'm just paying to get my brand awareness. And that's it. Roger and I are looking at a handful of events that are coming up over the next 4 or 5 months to close out this year. We're probably going to get involved in these events. Is there a possibility of leads coming out of them? 100%, right? But at the end of the day, they're very strategic events in the industry that we're trying to disrupt and make some noise in. And the whole point of going there or getting involved in these is nothing more than to put the brand in front of eyeballs. And that's a completely different attack than a paid marketing strategy, where I'm actually trying to generate a lead. Everybody understand that? Yes? And that's why I put it down here at the bottom, because these have to start to get in place before we really spend money on it. So in a few weeks, we'll get into some stuff on the paid side on some very easy ways. Some of you guys have already heard some of this stuff in the past. Some of it might be new to that, but we got about 15 minutes here. I do want to open up for any questions that you guys might have. And if nobody has any questions, then I'll just give you a quick assignment and we'll call it a day. Go ahead, Mickey.
I have asked you this question already, Shawn, and I think I went on your page for that. When you have multiple businesses and you want to have the consistency out of branding on your personal page, how do you do that?
Great question. So she's basically saying, hey, I've got a couple different things, right? And obviously we do. We have REI Toolbox, we have TRC. There's this whole other brand under the Shawn Tiberio side, right, with Unleash Your Inner Lion. I've got my other book, Fortifying Your Mind. There's a number of things, right? Personally, whatever is the most highest priority. Unleash Your Inner Lion, fortifying your mind, the Shawn Tiberio brand, is it an important component to me? You know, my Shawn Tiberio podcast that I'm going to get going again, are those important to me? Yes. Are they the leading driver? Are they my like whole reason for waking up every day and doing business? No. So I'm not going to put them as front and center. REI Toolbox is our front and center. It's our baby, right? It's our thing. It's what's got the passion. It's what's got me fired up. It's what I'm trying to build up to be known for, and what we are being known for. So I want to keep that as front and center as possible. But just earlier today, I was on a call with a bunch of Roger and I's colleagues and friends in a mastermind that we belong to. And I randomly got a message afterwards from somebody that said, "Hey, I love your personal website." So even though I don't put it front and center, and even though in that group I'm only known as Shawn, the guy from REI Toolbox, it was still seen and still found. Does that make sense, Mickey?
It does, thank you.
Lorraine, you're another one that kind of has this balance, right? You got Melanin Homes on the note side of things, but I also got Melanin Tax on this tax professional side. Which one's the driver? That's what needs to be the leader. The other one's the subsidiary. It's kind of in the background. I'm not saying hide it, but I'm also saying you don't put as much attention to that. Great question. Anybody else? Something? No?
So, so you're saying in relation to multiple ventures that you have going, and I will probably have a third arm shortly, but so when you're talking about branding, it's not branding like on the site for like Melanin Homes, or it's not branding on the site for the tax business or for the other ventures. You're talking about if I'm sharing things like on my personal Facebook. So for example, I have a real estate business page and I have a tax business page, but then I recently did some other ventures that I'm going to be starting probably with coaching and things of that nature that I have only been sharing on my personal page. But I also want to incorporate the other things that I'm doing and not necessarily have that be just the different things that I'm doing. I was just doing it for awareness purposes.
Yeah. Yes, you want all of that being brought down to the personal side. So let me go all the way back to the first thing that you said. Am I talking about the branding on the website? Absolutely. I'm also talking about the branding all over your social media. I'm also talking about the branding when you're out in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the branding when you are, just out and about, when your business opportunities for your business to just be out there, right?
Right.
But it has to start here. What's that look and feel? But the look and feel of that brand.
The look is that two of the businesses have similar names, but I don't necessarily want that to be, the catalyst for the branding.
Well, that's a component of it. But the big thing to really focus on right now is the look, the feel, and I'm not even saying the like physical, right? What I or you look at and see. I'm talking about what is my who I serve. What's the look and feel they see when they get a sight of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roger and I, when we first launched Top Results Consulting, we ended up with black and red because that's what I had already had, right?
Right.
What happened when we went to REI Toolbox?
Putting green.
What happened when we went to Lead Vault and launched that?
That's also green, I think.
Blue.
Well,
Blue.
that proves I haven't really been on Levo, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Why did we start getting away from the red and black? And went more with the greens and the blues and some of these other tones, right? When we launched Access Home Buyers, it's blue and white. Why didn't we keep the red and black going the whole time? Because red and black is very harsh.
Very power focused.
Power driven. Yeah. But that's why I used red and black on my book, Fortifying Your Mind, right? Red is a leadership color. It's a right? Manually, masculine type.
Oh.
So
Does it have to be
really understanding, right, the look, the feel that somebody gets. Take it a step deeper. Look at your own website. When somebody's scrolling through it, what's the look and feel that they're getting? Do they feel like you're a true brand, or do they have this? Are they seeing a look that's creating a feel that you just slap this thing together?
No.
I'm not saying that to you. These are the
Oh.
questions you should be asking, right? Why did this individual go to Chris and Sal's About Us page and mention that to them? It's because if you go to their About Us page, there's pictures of their two ugly mugs on there. Right? I think there's even a video of the two of them, stumbling over words. There's this the human side of it, right? The human component, there was a connection that could be made. There's, now I see who this father-son, it's even talked about in there. It's a father-son duo in this whole thing. So I would sit down over the next week and go through an audit of anything and everything that your business has out there. If you're doing offline marketing, look at the feeling and the look of your letters, of your postcards. Is there consistency across the board? Social media, if somebody's looking you up, and I shouldn't even say if, when somebody's looking you up on social media, because they are, is there consistency in that brand? And this can even go the look and feel. Like I said, it's the look and feel that maybe they get. And if you're sitting there talking about how you've got this like absolute love for the Houston market, and you really want to help families in such a upsetting and troubling time and a very difficult time, and then they go and look at Chris's personal Facebook page, and he's like beating up some old lady on the street because he's on
Did
steroids.
you guys see that one? Oh.
That doesn't bring consistency to the brand, right? If I'm over here talking about REI Toolbox, and it's run by two individuals who are very knowledgeable in the real estate space and have done all this real estate stuff, and I've been in the real estate game myself, I flipped all these houses and blah 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 blah. But then you go to my personal page and I'm over here like never talking about anything real estate personally. Well, how much real estate does Shawn really know? Is this making sense now? Get beneath the surface of what you've been told or taught in the past of branding. Branding is deeper than just a logo and color.
Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we try to do with everything that we've learned from Shawn and Roger and all the other things is the transactional aspect of it. We don't want our website to come across as transactional, like we're selling cars. Yeah, we're in the business of doing this, but we don't want it to come across that way. And one of the big things we're editing, as Shawn said right now, is the word, we buy with cash. Let's get a cash offer. Well, what the hell does that mean? Most people, I get people calling us now, say, I want to sell my house for cash. And I say, why? Well, I hear I can get a better deal. No, that's not the case, and so, we're looking at different phrasing rather than saying cash now. It's, and one of the things we're doing is saying, we give a concrete offer. It's a solid offer when we give you an offer. And that's what people tend to look at. So we're kind of looking at that too. And again, it's changing the feel of the thing. Whether it works or not, we think it will, but we'll see. We think it's the right thing to do.
Anybody else got something? Like I said, starting next week, we're going to start going deeper into each piece of these. I wanted to get the overview of it out of the way today. But if you guys continue to show up over the next couple of weeks, we're going to start to peel this onion back and kind of dissect it quite a bit. and I'll pull the curtain back a little bit on Roger and I while we were out. This was a big thing, even down to simple words, branding. We used to say REI Toolbox is for the real estate professional. What the heck is a real estate professional? Right? We were trying to use that word to encompass a bunch of different things. And when we really kind of boiled it down, everything we do at REI Toolbox, our programs, our products, the way that we helped, our marketing campaigns, all of that stuff under the REI Toolbox brand is investor driven. It's really focused on the real estate investor. But if you take the word professional and ask yourself, who is a real estate professional? Well, that could be an agent, that could be a title company, that could be a lender, that could be a broker, right? That could be a transaction coordinator. There's a lot of things that can come under that word real estate professional. And when we looked at our process, our system, and everything that's in place, it was like, we got to stop using that word. Can we service all of them? Does our structure and our strategies and all that work for all those? Absolutely, 100%. But what's built for REI Toolbox currently is really built for the investor side of things. So we need to stop using the word professional and make sure that we're clear and use the word investor. Now, Top Results Consulting, total different story. Right? It's not niche driven. Does that make sense there? Just one word could change when you're so niched like REI Toolbox. So the two things that I would encourage you to focus on this week is really that look, feel, the branding side of things, the consistency behind it. But I would also focus in right here. Who is it that you really, truly are trying to serve in your local market or in the markets that you're doing business? And for some of you, it might be as broad as defining the word distressed. I'm looking to work with distressed sellers. We'll put a definition to the word distressed and get clear on that. Because distressed could be, I can't afford to pay my mortgage this month. Well, is that really distressed? I mean, they can work that out themselves and get out of that. Distress could be, well, I haven't painted my house in 20 years, so I want to sell it, but it just hasn't been painted. Define that who. And we've gone as far as saying the way, if you look at our foundations package, we're making a big overhaul. You guys are going to hear the word 2.0 thrown out quite a bit. Probably in about the next 3 to 4 months, you're going to see version 2.0 come rolling out. And there's some really sweet changes that Roger and the team and everybody's doing to 2.0. Why? Because we've designed and are in the process now of really designing our foundation package to fit that real estate individual who's just getting started up until about their first year. So going as deep as being able to say even the products have a very clear who. All good? Okay, we are at the top of the hour. I'm going to go ahead and